What's cracking, people? I'm Theo Kane, this is Slimehouse TV, and as you can see right now, I'm just doing a bit of tinkering. I just put all these shelves up. I've been sent so many cool paints, most recently by Turbo Dork, so for a while I've wanted to create a little area to display them all and have them to hand and stuff. So I picked these little shelves up on a recent IKEA trip and they work really nice for what I needed. While I had the drill handy as well and all plugged in, I also fitted these racks to the wall because they were quite wobbly. So basically, I'm just ticking off a load of little things off the snag list that I needed to do that I've not had a chance to get to yet, because in a couple of days, I'm going to be starting work on a little side thing, a little something that's going to help improve the workflow and the whole space of the studio, and I'm really excited to share it with you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish tidying up in here. I've also got a big pile of cardboard that I need to burn as well, so I'll take that outside, I'll have a little fire, and then I'll catch back up with you and let you know all about the brand new Slimehouse Studio extension. Let's do this. So long-time viewers of my channel will know that I haven't always presented Slimehouse episodes from this studio. This is a building that we actually put together about a year and a half ago, but it was a space that we completely created from scratch. I even actually documented the whole process of building it in a series of videos that you can watch back if you're ever interested in how we did it all. And in those episodes, I talked about how I wanted to create the perfect toy making / YouTube filming space, and I really feel like that's what we did. And since building this studio, I've created so many different toys, I've added so many different cool machines and pieces of equipment, and through the process of creating all that stuff and making those toys, I've learnt what works in here, what doesn't, what needs moving around, what needs changing, and also where we can make improvements, like what is something that slows me down and messes with my workflow, and how can we deal with that. So I always try and keep my studio space as neat and as tidy as possible. I know it's a place that I make toys and I do resining and painting and stuff and sawing wood and all that kind of thing, but I always try and keep it as neat and as tidy as I can. So whenever it comes to messy work like sawing wood or drilling or cutting metal or spraying or anything like that, I always kind of do it pretty reluctantly, because I know that once I've finished I'm always going to have a load of mess to clean up afterwards. Now I can do a little bit outside, I can do it out there on the patio area and things, but then also I live in England, a place where it rains all the time, and you'd be so surprised how many times I've gone out there just wanting to rattle can and prime a figure that I've just printed that I need to get painted and stuff, and it's spitting and it's raining and I'm not able to do it. I can stand in the doorway and stuff, but it's not ideal. You might have even seen me in videos before having to spray in here because I needed to get something finished for a deadline and I couldn't spray outside because of the weather. I have seen people like Craftsman that have got a nice little outdoor workbench underneath like an awning outside their studio and stuff, and that's really nice, but because I live in England, mine's kind of got to be done a little bit different. So bearing that in mind and all the other messy work that I do in the studio that I'd rather not do in here, I've kind of come up with something, invented a little something, or I say invented, that I want to build a little extension of the studio that's going to make all that stuff so much more manageable. So yeah, let me show you, let me draw you what I've got in mind. So, it's not perfect, it's not very neat, and it's probably not very technically accurate, but hopefully you can get a vague idea of what it is that I'm trying to build. So I basically need some kind of outdoor workshop area where I can do messy work and spray stuff without the rain ruining it and things, and I think this will be the best solution. So I'm thinking a nice sturdy frame with a big workbench attached to it and a vise on it and that kind of thing. The one that I've drawn here doesn't have any sides on it or a back or anything like that, but I wanted to be able to show you what I was actually thinking in my head, and if I put sides on it you won't be able to see. And when I was originally thinking up this idea, I was just thinking to do it out of wood, but we've got a really good family friend called Phil. Whenever we need fences or gates or anything like that, Phil is always the guy that we call, and he says he will build it out of metal. But hopefully this will alleviate all those problems that I mentioned to you. I won't have to saw wood or drill in the studio or anything like that and get dust everywhere. I won't have to worry about spraying something outside and it getting covered in rain, because I'll be able to do it all in this new little outdoor workshop area. So from there, I opened up my iPad and started creating a digital render, something a bit more structurally sound or easier to understand. Now this were just in Nomad Sculpt, the same program that I digitally sculpt all of my toys and action figures in, so it were fun to jump on and do something that were very different to what I'd normally be creating on there. Now obviously I'm no metal fabricator or anything like that, so this was just something to give Phil to vaguely explain what it is that I were wanting, and then also something that he could then look at and change and amend in any way that he thought would work better. So I sent him this off, left him with it, and about 3 weeks later I got the call to say that it were all finished and it were ready to be delivered. So this got delivered yesterday. Me and my dad brought it onto the garden and we're going to be assembling it later today. Our friend Phil that made it is going to come round and show us how to put it together. So before we do that, because that's going to happen in the next couple of hours, I wanted to show you the individual pieces and what it is we're actually working with. So it's almost like a bus stop. These are the sides, these will come out like that. And that's got a sloped roof that slopes to the back so that rain can fall off it. And I think that is about 2.5 foot deep. I might be slightly off, but if I remember the measurements, maybe 3 foot. These bars are what fit it together in the middle, so there's, I think, 2 for the back and 1 for the front that the workbench is going to lay on. And then this is actually the roof panel. So this is what will be on the roof. And as you can see, it's all real heavy. So when it's all put together, I'll then catch back up with you and show you what the next stage of it is, because this is just the frame. It needs to have wood on it and felt and all sorts. Maybe even doors as well, but we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. So later on that day, as arranged, Phil, who made the thing, arrived and we started setting about putting it all together. Now the way that it was all designed and created was pretty simple, just a nice sturdy frame that could be bolted. And when we did the patio out here as well, my dad did it so that it was ever so slightly on a slope, just to help with rainfall. So to counter that and make sure that this new structure would be nice and straight and level, Phil also fitted it with adjustable feet, which was obviously a very helpful idea and something that I'd not even thought about.
What you say, beautiful baby? She's a good girl.
A couple of days later, my dad turned up with a bunch of plywood that he'd got and we started measuring and getting it all cut for the sides and the roof. We also made sure that these boards were fitted as securely as possible, so we drilled a ton more holes in the steel and put a bunch more bolts in, going through about 6 drill bits in the process. And I'll be honest, my dad and our family friend Booty did most of the work here. They're much better at this kind of thing than I am, so I just did what anyone else should do in this kind of situation. Try and be helpful, be on hand to hold stuff and clean stuff up, while also just trying to stay out of the way as much as possible. So it's been a good few days since I last filmed any updates on this. My camera broke, it was a whole thing, I had to get my camera fixed. I was also working on a different project, so while I was in there editing, my dad was finishing all the stuff on it. So shouts to my dad, because he's absolutely smashed it and he's done so much work on this thing. So what I'm doing now is I'm just cleaning up a bunch of tools. I'm going to get everything sorted out, get everything out of here, get it all swept and stuff, and I'll show you where we're currently at, how much progress has been made on it, and then also what the next stage of production is on this spray booth, outdoor workbench, whatever you want to call it. As you can see as well, we did go for the doors idea. Originally, I was going to have it kind of open, but then we thought, well, we'll put sides on it because it will keep the elements out. And then if we're going to have sides on, we might as well have doors as well. Now, these are really big doors. I think this whole thing's like 7 foot. Yeah, 7 foot, so it's a really nice size. It don't feel claustrophobic when you're in there working and stuff. These do need handles on them. I'm thinking some big scaffolding bars or something like that would look kind of cool. So in terms of what's next, it all needs pushing back. We had to bring it forward so that we could paint the back of it and stuff, but now it all needs pushing back against the fence. I can't do that on my own. I need a couple of the lads here to help me do that because it's so heavy. I also don't want to be pushing it and scraping it across these flagstones and things. And then obviously, I need to work on what's going to go inside it. I'm kind of torn between whether I should have some planks just across here or if I should have an actual workbench inside that's on casters that I can wheel out and push back in. And honestly, I think that's the direction that I'm leaning in. But it will basically have something inside like this with wood across and my vise, so that I've got a nice outdoor workspace, and I'm absolutely buzzing for it. So you see this here, this isn't dust. I mean, it's probably a bit of dust, but it's mostly spray paint particles. I only wiped all this last week when my friend come round, but since then I've done a bit of spraying in the studio, and already you can see these like layers of dust particles building up, and yeah, I just don't want it. And it's another one of the reasons why I don't want to be doing any more spray painting in here. I want to be doing it all out there in that new little extension. In terms of the workbench outside, the outdoor workshop, the spray booth, the extension, whatever we're calling it, obviously there's still quite a bit of work that needs doing on it. I really do feel like I'm going to go with the big workbench on caster wheels that we can wheel out. I feel like that's the best direction to go in. I'm also aware that at the minute it looks kind of boring. At the minute it's just like a big grey box, and I want it to look good on camera. So I've already spoken to one of my graffiti artist friends about coming round and putting a big mural on it as well. So that's something that will probably happen in the next few weeks. Talking about the toy making a little bit as well, I've got some really cool things going on in the pipeline at the minute, some personal projects, some really cool collaborations, including something that I'm just signing the contracts for now, so I don't want to jinx it, but if that all goes through, that's going to be amazing, because that's like a really cool collaboration with something that's massive, and yeah, can't say too much, but that's going to be really cool. In adjacent to that as well, talking about like gunpla kits and model kits, myself, Tony and Bentlegs went out to a shop in Manchester recently that was just stacked with Gundam, so I got some really cool ones, including some that I've got the original ones of as well, so I'll be able to do one of those old versus new episodes, because I did that one before and it were really popular. You all lot seem to really like it, so it'd be cool to do some more like that. So yeah, that's all happening soon as well. But if you ever do want to see what I've got going on behind the scenes, you want access to some exclusive content, some of the STLs that I make, and fundamentally, you just want to see Slimehouse continue, then the best way of doing that is by joining my Patreon over at patreon.com/SlimehouseTV. There's a couple of different tiers on there, but all of the money that's generated on it all goes directly back into the channel and helps me make these videos and keep this brand going, and helps me make this studio and what I do here and everything here at Slimehouse bigger and better than ever. So please consider doing that. It's a massive help, and yeah, it's the sole reason that I'm able to keep doing this, because without it, Slimehouse really wouldn't exist like it does today. So I feel like that's everything that I wanted to get through in today's video. I feel like I've told you everything that I wanted to tell you. And I'd love to know, what do you think of the spray booth idea? Do you think it works? Have you ever made an outdoor workshop or anything like that? Did you ever add anything to it that you thought was a really good idea? Let me know. Maybe it's something that I can incorporate into this one while we're halfway through building it. I'd like to know what you think of these studio update videos as well. Sometimes I feel that they're a bit uneventful, but maybe you like them. I can always film stuff. I'm always tinkering. Like I said, I've always got loads of stuff on the snag list that I'm getting through. So yeah, let me know. But either way, what I'm going to do now is get back to putting all these back on the shelves, just having a bit of a spring clean, and hopefully this is now the last time that I'll ever have to clean up spray paint dust off these shelves and off these figures, because I hate picking them up, I hate handling them. Each one of these I've got so much love for, so hopefully I won't have to keep moving them on and off these shelves as much, because yeah, I really don't like it. But with all that being said, as always, I just want to say a massive thank you to everybody that's taken the time out to watch this video today. With all the other stuff that you can be watching on YouTube, it really does mean a lot that you come back here every single week and watch some Slimehouse TV, and I hope to catch you in the next one. But until then, I'm Theo Kane, this is Slimehouse TV, and I'm gone. Pow!